Neil here from the Four Corners, and welcome to a Ninjago Season 13 Thoughts and Opinions video. In today's video, we'll be discussing if the board game theme that's present in most of these Season 13 sets will stick around for future seasons. First of all, I want to mention that apart from the straightforward board game that you can play with the Season 13 sets, you can also play a Dungeons and Dragons style game, which doesn't involve these sets as much as the board game, but it's still something and it's also a new way to play. The overall idea of a Ninjago board game is executed very well through the Season 13 sets, especially through the Skull Dungeons. While the Skull Dungeons is supposed to be the main piece for the board game, as a toy it still doesn't fail. It actually has more features than what you would see in a normal Ninjago $100 structure set. So that kind of proves that the board game doesn't really affect the set as a toy, and in return it actually adds more to the set than you would think. The only place where I can see the board game being a nuisance is where the board game is a very large side build in a vehicle set, which would significantly add the price, and if you don't want the board game, then you would be paying for something you don't want. But as we go on to the future seasons, if we do get board game sets, then I don't think they need to dedicate 4 whole sets to board games. I think they could just dedicate the one flagship set of the season, because the flagship set tends to be a big structure set, and it's really not that hard to incorporate the board game feature into a already large structure. And it also doesn't add a whole lot to the price, because the board game just consists of the tiles with the green arrows on them, so it doesn't really add much to the price or the parts count. So overall, the board game feature is very nice, and I'd be very happy if Ninjago decided to continue this for many seasons going forward. But realistically speaking, this board game concept probably won't stick around for long. I think it's just a Season 13 thing. We'll have to see the Season 14 sets to really know what's going on. But I do hope this concept sticks around, because the board game feature lets the older fans of Ninjago also enjoy the sets if they don't want to play with the toy. In the end, I hope the board game concept sticks around for a lot of seasons. This could very well be Ninjago's new concept of a Lego set, and the board game function could be a new standard for Ninjago sets. We'll just have to wait and see what happens with the Season 14 sets, and if we do get the board game functions in the next wave, that's great. If we don't get the board game functions, that's also fine. I'm happy if the board game function stays exclusive to Season 13, because too much of the board game feature could get tiring and boring after a while. Anyways, that's all for my thoughts on the board game feature possibly continuing for many seasons and how good the board game feature actually is. Thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.